4 kills for BDK Kid. Will he get the 5th one?
But a big shatter from Juke. High takes a play from O again, putting the jetpack. Invictus wins the match.
Massive blossom from Klaus getting into the back
An
line.
impressive job there by Infuse Gaming. Really
Full hold for Careless.
Alt F4 puts the close.
Crimson picked up a 3rd. Can he get a 4th?
First one will be rocking with the death blossom. Pick up 1.
And now we see the Shadow Sepulchre triage coming down with the death blossom.
We got 3 on the point now, and inside.
Holy Jalapeno just rolled straight.
Freezing Maxis on the soldier.
That's Karma's gonna take up this victory.
The top block picks up 3.
There will be Elusion.
Arise, finds 3 in the fight against
A full 6K for Shamanzi.
Finding 4 with the death blossom.
And now you better back down, cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, cause I'm coming for you.
Overwatch fans, welcome to the semifinals of Overwatch Tranquility Tournament Playoffs. Tonight we are coming at you from the Harmony tier with a match between the 2nd seed Elusion versus the 6th seed Unded Batteries. This game is a rematch of the Week 7 matchup, which ended with Elusion winning 3-2 on a close map 5. Both teams are coming off a 4-1 win in the quarterfinals, where they both looked very, very strong. It's been a while since these teams faced off, and I'm looking forward to this rematch. Of course, since this is the semifinals, the winner of tonight's match will be moving on to the finals to take on the winner of the Jetpack Cats and Holy Jalapenos, while the loser gets to tune into the broadcast. I am JStar. Alongside me tonight, our very own Booth, with our dear friend on the Twitch team and Overlord Juke on production. Booth, what are you expecting tonight, my friend?
I am expecting a very, very good match. Both these teams seem to be pretty well even across boards. Their game, as you mentioned, going really close way back in Week 7. Some changes happened to Unded Battery since then. I think they picked up Abe since that time, which is a very strong pickup for them. Both teams having good pickups this season, but looking very strong last round. I think it's going to be a very close game.
Absolutely. And going into map 1, something that I do want to highlight, Teractin, probably one of the most scary Reinhardts in the Harmony tier, is partially deaf. How is that going to affect his play? How do you think that's going to affect his play?
I mean, that's such a hard character, right? You kind of need to have people telling you what you're doing. If you're normally running the Reinhardt, you have your Zarya there telling you when the bubbles are coming through. So very impressive. I actually didn't know that Teractin has hearing issues. So very impressive. Teractin's able to do a strong job. Getting a lot of credit this season in terms of voting. Teractin being voted as one of the best main tanks in the Harmony tier. So hasn't really seemed to affect him much too far. I know Player is a strong main tank there on the side of Elusion, so that'll be a fun matchup we can watch out for tonight.
Absolutely. So on the side of Elusion, they don't really seem to have that strong of a Lucio player. I know Ivy can play Lucio pretty decently, but they don't really have that Lucio kind of specialist that a lot of the teams have. How do you think that's going to affect them?
So we've seen a lot of Reinhardt out of both teams this season. I know Bunker's very strong right now, but Elusion does seem to go to the Reinhardt pick a lot of the times, and that definitely affects him. And even in this meta, Lucio's very important. So a lot of healing for your team there alongside the Moira. And the Lucio's sometimes that really good peel. They're using the boop to kind of knock away the Reaper or the Doomfist if they're kind of coming into the back line. So it definitely affects a lot of teams. Don't know if it's really affected them too much this playoff, but that's definitely something the teams can be taking advantage of.
Definitely. And going into map 1 here, Lijiang Tower, definitely some interesting strats that can come out from both sides. What do you think the side of Undead Battery would want to be running here?
So for Undead, a lot of the times, especially if teams aren't going to be running the Lucio, you kind of want to maybe take advantage of that fact. Maybe play something with some bigger sight lines, not worrying about the Lucio trying to speed teams through. A lot of times Bastion does really well into that because they kind of have to sit there and just take the Bastion spray coming in on breaking all your shields before you can get set up. Also, if they're not running the Lucio, that kind of blocks a lot of the support ultimates that come through. Because if you don't have a Zenyatta, and obviously nobody runs Zen in this meta, because otherwise they wouldn't have made it this far into the playoffs. So you don't really have a good defensive ultimate there.
Absolutely. And coming into map 1, definitely a very good map for both sides. I know both teams have very good Pharah players. From the side of Elusion, though, Illusion's always been very strong with running the meta, but what do you think they're going to bust out here coming into map 1?
I think Pharmacy. You do see a lot of Pharmacy coming out for them in most of their games. Pharmacy definitely being strong here, especially if you can get the point and kind of take advantage of those Ferrocite lines, punishing the other team coming through. Looks like they already are on that here. Then Kurt over on the Doomfist. Kurt being such a very strong DPS player, rated one of the best, I think almost up for MVP here in the Harmony tier. Doomfist being one of his better heroes for sure. So good start there from them. And looks, we see the Symmetra over on the side of Undead Batteries. I also like that pick as well. Try to get the point, maybe limit what that fire is able to do.
Definitely, and we get right into the action here as we have Undead Battery taking on Elusion. Not really much going on, just a little bit of poke from the Pharah. The Pharah is going to be so good for raining in just spam damage from the outside, but we do see Undead Battery taking point control first. And we do see a pull coming in from the side of Elusion. Kurt tries to punch into it, but finds nobody. As Undead Battery looks completely set up, player looks to push in, but gets forced back by Teractin. Teractin forced to put a shield up. Abe finding a quick pick on the player, but Kurt picks up the refrag onto Abe. And this point is even, but Undead Battery took the point to begin with. Honey though, coming out with the big res on the player. And while the side of Elusion is full strength, we do see early coalescence coming out. Seb coming out with the first coalescence, and Drugs Not Hugs countering right back. We see both sides getting very low, but player takes that Teractin right away. The main tank for the side of Undead Battery is going down right away. Crimson trades back onto Nixstall. And these kills are just going back and forth. Abe taking out Drugs Not Hugs, refragging in this. Oh, Black Ninja coming out with big barrage, taking out 3. Black Ninja absolutely cleaning that fight up for the side of Elusion. Kurt finding up that final kill. And it looks like this will be a time to just back up for the side of Undead Battery. Kurt looking to just stall the point out here. Teractin brought to 1 HP, but the reinforcements are coming in from the side of Undead Battery, but it will not matter. Kurt and Drugs Not Hugs. Kurt taking out 2. Kurt taking out 3. Kurt is absolutely popping off right now. And this fight just went to the side of Undead Battery, or I'm sorry, Elusion, in the snap of a finger.
So even though Elusion winning that fight there, Undead Battery getting up to 50%. They basically stalled that for almost 30% longer than they should have there. So really great job for them. And now they have ultimates to come back in here. Look at all 5 ultimates. The Symmetra here first, but look for the grab or the Shatter to come through really early on.
Absolutely. So we do see the Meteor Strike coming out from the side of Elusion. They are going into point here. That is going to be their engagement. We do see the Climate invest the grab here, and as the Coalescence comes out from Seb, Crimson invests the Death Blossom, picking up two huge kills from the side of Undead Battery. Crimson picking up a 3rd. And this fight just went, I am sorry, he picks up a 4th, and Drugs Not Hugs just makes the right decision there, ends his own life. Undead Batteries very convincingly took back that point.
Yeah, Crimson doing a very good job there and waiting for Nixstall's Eat there to go down low. Nixstall throwing out the Eat to try to help combat a little bit some of the damage coming in on the Graviton Surge, but waiting for that cooldown to go down. Crimson came in and got a really easy cleanup there. But Elusion are going to have a couple ultimates here, but still the Sound Barrier may be able to stop Nixstall's lift here, but it looks like they do have the Erase ultimate to open up with, and that's really going to get the shield low there for Teractin.
Yeah, they do engage with the Erase ult, but Abe and Black Ninja picking off players from both sides. And this thing will be invested from Nixstall, but a Shatter does come out from Teractin, finds nobody. Honey does res Kurt. Black Ninja picking off Demo. Nixstall picking off Climate. And this fight just went all the side of Elusion as as Black Ninja cleans up on the Pharah.
Yeah, great job there from Black Ninja. They didn't really have to invest too many ultimates. They did try to use Nixstall's lift there, and then player using the ultimate early on. Already back up to 50% again, but Black Ninja having the barrage and doing a lot of great work with that there. Undead Batteries probably should just be taking a dry fight here, not trying to invest much, bait out some of these ultimates here from Elusion. But this one looked like it might be getting close to a 99-99 battle here.
Absolutely, and we see Crimson teleporting into the backline. Both Coalescences really invested. Black Ninja picking up 2, 3 with the Rocket Barrage. Kurt picking off Abe. Black Ninja taking out Teractin, and with one click of a button, this fight went all Elusion.
Yeah, great job for them. Not getting too greedy. They held on to the Seismic and Honey's Mercy ultimate as well. So good for them. They're going to have that. This is going to be coming down to last fight territory. Will be coming online for the side of Undead Batteries, but really only the Symmetra wall is going to be available for them to open up this fight. If Kurt can get a pick early on here, or Black Ninja maybe getting some damage in, and maybe taking out some of these heroes that are getting close to ultimates on the side of Undead Batteries, that could be massive for them. And that boop down onto Abe to knock him off the high ground kind of just took away their whole way of trying to push into point now. With only 10% left, they got to get to point quick.
They do invest the Simul here, and they will be pushing in with that, splitting the point in half. They will be engaging as Crimson takes out the Moira very early on. There's no more main healers, but Honey comes out with a big res. The player does invest the Bongo, but it will be taking down immediately back Climate. Not really a lot of picks going on. Tracton does pick off player though. Tracton does have the Earth Shatter. Abe picking off the Pharah. Kurt taking out Demo. This fight's just going back and forth. Climate taking out Kurt. This fight is just a deathmatch on the point. Nixal does bring out the Gravitic Flux, picking off 2. And with just Toracton on point, this fight looks all but over. Oh, but Toracton does invest the Shatter, picking up nobody. Toracton goes for the charge, gets nobody on the charge, and the reinforcements are here for both sides. Crimson using that ultimate, picking off Nixal. Demo picking off Honey. Crimson picking off the ball, but the Rocket Barrage will be invested. Black Ninja picking off Demo, but Crimson will be picking off Black Ninja. And this point is looking very Undead Battery. But
yeah, Undead Battery did a really good job. They're kind of just getting back to point, not using all their ultimates right away, and kind of Elusion having to go with the stall heroes, had to give up a few of the ultimates coming at the end. But that was a very, very closely contested first point there from both teams.
Absolutely. Both teams looked very hot out of the gate. What do you think some changes that are going to come out from the side of Undead Battery might look like?
Well, for Undead Battery, they might be able just to keep running the same comp here. Not very strong for Pharah if Elusion sticks with that here on this point. Don't need to go over to hit scan or anything like that. I think they definitely had a little bit of an advantage running their tank comp there. They kind of just seemed to kind of push player and Nixal around a little bit, but keeping the Rhine Zari up here again would be pretty good for them if they go back to that. Climate maybe sticking on the Wrecking Ball. Don't normally see that paired up. Now there's the Zari, okay. But it looks like almost kind of mirror comps coming through, but we don't see the Lucio, as we were mentioning, on the side of Elusion there. And then Black Ninja over on the side of Junkrat. This is like some season 3 stuff going on. I like it.
Absolutely. Abe with an interesting pick on the far gets an early wall on the player in Nixal. They will be looking to capitalize, but Kurt and Black Ninja taking out DPS, and Kurt picks off both healers. Those are some big, huge picks right there. That should force the side of Elusion to back up here. Drugs not hugs though. Elusion taking this point very convincingly.
Yeah, Kurt just not really getting punished to go into the backline there. They're investing a lot of resources on the bubble there waiting for him. He played his cooldowns very well. Very good job, up to 50% on the ult too. Abe getting kind of close to the Blizzard for that first fight, up to 40. But Elusion definitely they'll push a little far forward here with the Mei. They should have either held a little bit closer or just stayed back on the point. So they're just going to fall back to point here and not try to give this Mei too much space. It's a little bit better for them to hold here, less space for the wall to take up as much advantage for them.
Absolutely, and they cut. Oh, they do cut. Manage to get Kurt out. The ping comes in. Teracton. Abe taking out player. That's the main tank down. That is a huge pick from the side of Undead Battery. Let's see how they're going to use this. Riptire is going to be invested from Black Ninja. Crimson taking out Nixal. Black Ninja picking off one. Abe is going to refrag though onto Black Ninja. This fight just all of a sudden went to the side of Undead Battery. We do see the coalescence invested from both sides. Interesting play there. Teracton taking out Drugs Not Hugs. And this point went all the way to Undead Battery.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there from Drugs Not Thugs to be able to use the ultimate. Not getting much value out of it. And the Tire doing there from Black Ninja, hopefully be able to charge it up quickly again. In these Death Volley comps you see it, but Undead Battery's looking like in a pretty good spot here. Being able to hold this close up with the Mei, it's going to be tough for Elusion to push through here. Maybe try to get off a shatter here from player, but player does get wall off on top.
Player off. Oh, that is, ooh, they do invest the shatter and they do invest freeze. Teracton taking out Kurt. Black Ninja refragging onto Demo, and Crimson taking out player. Undead Battery looks to have a chokehold right now in this doorway, but Black Ninja does find the direct hit onto Crimson, taking out the Reaper. That is a huge pick as a lack of damage coming in, but they do wall off Nixal, and this looks like this fight is just going the side of Undead Battery, as they are able to just cut off the team and play the way they want to play.
Yeah, that was it was a really good wall from the push through, but it looks like the Elusion's kind of pushing right back in with their own.
The coalescence from Drugs Not Hugs to really taking over. Kurt picking off Climate, and this fight all of a sudden with one click of a button went over to the side of Elusion. Drugs Not Hugs, really big coalescence right there.
Yeah, that was really impressive. Being able to push through with just the Reinhardt, it almost like Nixal almost big brain that there. He kind of, when he went through the wall, a lot of abilities invested there from Undead Batteries to deal with him, and they didn't have abilities to come through with the rest of Elusion pushing through. Undead Batteries definitely having an ultimate advantage here, but be ready for a lot of Qs to be pressed in this fight.
Absolutely. Teracton with the Shatter. They will engage with the Blizzard though, and it will not find anybody as, oh, I am sorry. They do invest the Reaper ultimate as Abe and Crimson pick off two. Abe picking off Nixal, and A picking off player. This fight looks all but over for the side of Elusion.
Yeah, they didn't end up investing too much in that fight. I don't mind that out of them. Over on the side of Undead, they did go down to the Blizzard. You kind of wish they have a little bit more of a support ult for that. That's normally where that Lucio beat drop can come in. Running the Ana is pretty interesting here with that, but they're gonna have a tough time pushing through on this Mei again. It's gonna keep walling them off.
Ooh, they do pick off 2, and player goes for the shatter, but finds 3. Oh, and a huge tire coming out from Black Ninja, picking off 5.
Wow. Player should definitely get some credit on that too. A great shatter from player to open that one up. I don't think they were expecting player to shatter on that fight. Oh, great job though on the side of Elusion though. And 82% they push up. They have the grab here too. They can try to hold him closer if they want. Oh no, they're just gonna hold on point here. But they do have the grab, and Kurt getting very close there to the Death Blossom.
Climate taking down 1 HP, so as they will invest the grab from Nixall. The beat will be invested from the side of the Undead Battery, and both Coalescences will be invested as well. And Teractin does invest the shatter. Picks up 1, and picks off Nixall. Black Ninja refragging on the Crimson. Teractin pinning Kurt. Demo picking off Black Ninja. And Undead Battery, very convincingly, with the only 2 ults used there, take the point pretty much take the point back pretty convincingly.
Yeah, the grab there on the side of Elusion caught a lot of players, but there wasn't really anyone there to fall on it for him. So kind of held him off point, but maybe should have waited on that a little bit, being able to try to stop them from contesting. And Kurt not being able to get much out of the Reaper ultimate as well. But now Elusion's gonna have to try to even get to the point to touch. I don't even know if they're gonna be able to.
It will invest the Blizzard ultimate, and they do nano player, but it will not matter as Undead Battery takes map number 1.
Well, very close out of both sides there. 9900s coming out basically both ways, and that really one fight on that last point there. Maybe some of the ultimates could have been used a little better on the side of Elusion in that last fight. But watch this tire here from Black Ninja. Look at that shatter. Everybody through the window going down, and Black Ninja coming in. Wow, great combo there from them. That's pretty nice when you can clean up a whole team pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Going into map number 2, we are not quite sure what we're going to see. But the Rein Zarya from the side of Undead Battery, seeming that they were just pressing W into Elusion. What do you think Elusion needs to do to fix this aggression, maybe to keep them off the Rein Zarya comp?
So next map we go to will be Assaults. That's either Volskaya Industries, Hanamura, Temple of Anubis. If I was Elusion, I would probably stick away from Volskaya Industries. Rein Zarya tend to be a little bit stronger there. Maybe Temple of Anubis for them. They are slightly more of a team. Temple of Anubis having pretty good spots there for the Orisa. I would probably stick to that if I was them. Hanamura maybe wouldn't be a bad choice either. That gives them a little bit of fire play on the attack, and sometimes you see fire on first point defense on Hanamura as well.
Absolutely, and in the words of Demo, a tire worthy of PDK Kid. Man, that tire was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So going into map number 2, so far we have no swaps, but from the side of Elusion, they're playing pretty well. But let's talk about Undead Battery for a minute. What they're doing is they're just out aggressing them, and Elusion's not looking like they can handle the aggression. And between the Mei and between Abe on the Mei and Crimson on the Reaper, they're not handling it very well. So if Elusion wants to try to bring this back, they should try to eliminate the aggression of Undead Battery, because Undead Battery is playing this Rein Zarya comp really well right now.
Yeah, they're kind of using the Mei wall to really take up a lot of space and allow Teractin to kind of really go deep into the side of Elusion. One thing Elusion can look out for, you see Teractin kind of really getting into the backline and making a lot of really aggressive charges, maybe trying to save some resources and try to pick him off when he does get that far back, because that's a pretty easy target, especially if they don't have a bubble on the side of Undead Battery to protect the Reinhardt. That could really easily be an early pick for them.
Absolutely. And from the side of Elusion, they played the meta pretty well on the first point of Legion, but they just couldn't play it well enough. The Pharah was huge from Black Ninja. Black Ninja is an absolutely great Pharah, and he showed that he has the skill to do it. And on a map like Hanamura, the Pharah can be so devastating if a team is not ready for it. And yes. I would not be surprised if they're going to run the Pharah here if they do go to Hanamura, but I am wrong. We are going to Volskaya Industries.
Yeah, Volskaya, interesting choice. I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick for them. I think they're kind of pushing the Rein Zarya, which isn't a terrible move. I mean, I think running Rein Zarya, running a Rein Zarya into your own meta comp can just changes things up a little bit. And a Rein Zarya matchup, I mean, it's a little different than what we were watching in the last map. Player again, a pretty aggressive Reinhardt and Saul getting grabs pretty quickly in that last fight as well, which especially here on Volskaya and these two CP maps, getting those big ultimates up like that quickly can be very massive for your team.
Absolutely. And Volskaya is one of those maps where it kind of favors brawl comps. And you don't really see many 2CPs that favor brawl comps anymore. But with Volskaya is really interesting, though, because if a team would want to run a Bastion, they really have no place to set up. And I know Elusion likes to run the Bastion, so how might that affect their game plan?
Yeah, definitely. You see some teams definitely trying it, but you can just there's so much cover. You can take when you come through this choke here. You can go through the left side and go to the mega health pack. You can go to the right side and try to push the Bastion off the high ground again. So teams sometimes run the Bastion. If they do it, though, they'll normally play it behind the point and try to hold the high ground off of teams. But holding it up close on, I mean, sometimes teams can just, push in close enough and kind of just do damage through it. We do see Elusion. They are going to do that Bastion comp then with the Pharmacy as well. But interested to see where they set up for this. I don't know if Unded Batteries is maybe planning for this. We see Abe on the Symmetra right now. Maybe they're going to try to do the teleport strat to go out to the right and then maybe try to take the high ground on the side of point. That'll be if they do that, that'll be a good thing for Elusion then, because that'll open up a lot of space for Black Ninja and Kurt to kind of just have a crossfire going on. Kurt will be able to shoot from one side of the high ground and Black Ninja can take a whole different angle on him.
Absolutely, and it looks like Climate will be rolling out on the Winston. Interesting pick here, going to a Bastion comp. Well, they do not know it is.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. They're probably going to have to switch that there. Well, let's see what they end up doing. They don't have a Lucio right now. I mean, Abe running on the Symmetra might be enough for them to try to get around this, but Black Ninja is going to have a lot of space here early on, and they're going to have a hard time pushing through onto Kurt here then on the right. He's going to have a lot of space.
Black Ninja already at 54% to his ultimate. Some huge poke coming in from early from the side of Elusion as Undead Battery just looks to rotate, take the high ground. They want to play this very, very slowly. Once again, though, Black Ninja just firing rockets down in that room. A pull does come out from player, but it will get nobody. But we will see Climate engage onto the Bastion, forcing out the Immortality Field. Kurt picks off Climate. Player picks off a player with another pick onto Crimson. And this just looks like a reset for the side of Undead Battery. Tracking getting shredded down by Black Ninja. Black Ninja once again taking out Seb. So what needs to happen here for the side of Undead Battery?
So I did like Crimson kind of flanking in there on the Reaper. I just don't think they had enough dive. They tried to do the Tem TP strat to get up there, but Kurt was able to shred through that teleporter very quickly. Crimson going over to the Widowmaker, maybe trying to deal with the Pharmacy here. Getting a pick on the Pharmacy would be pretty big for them, but besides that, that's the only real thing Crimson can be doing here. If Black Ninja just takes a kind of real safe angle, which looks like they're going to do, is just stay down here in the bottom, not give that Widowmaker any sight lines, because that Widow cannot shoot through two shields at all. So good job from them trying to limit the Widowmaker here, but this is going to be tough for Undead Batteries to push through, especially with ultimates here for Elusion as well.
And they will invest Drugs Not Hugs ultimate from the side of, or I am sorry, they will invest Demon's ult, and Drugs Not Hugs will be investing his ult. Kurt and Black Ninja picking up too. Tracton also picking up too. Tracton's really close to that shatter. Climate will invest the Primal Rage. Black Ninja picking up 3 with the Barrage. Black Ninja is absolutely playing out of his mind tonight on the Pharah. Climate will be picking out Drugs and Hugs, but Kurt will be refragging on the Climate, and this is just a reset for the side of Undead Battery.
Yeah, Black Ninja having 3 massive ultimates, just wiping the side of Undead Batteries. Undead Batteries have to feel kind of bad there for investing a couple of ultimates into that fight and not even getting a tick out of it. Ivy Cat is going to have the Valkyrie here soon, and player getting close to the Orisa ultimate. That'll be really good if Kurt can get set back up here on the high ground and kind of shred in. And Undead Batteries pushing into the side here again, but no switches out of them yet. They did go over the McCree instead of Widowmaker, which might help, but I don't know if they're still going to be able to get much point presence here.
Absolutely. Undead Battery is looking to play it really safe, but Crimson takes out Black Ninja right off the bat. That is a Pharah down. Abe takes out player, and they will be looking to invest ultimates here. Nixall taking out Crimson, but Seb refragging onto Kurt with the Coalescence. And this fight's just going back and forth on point here. Nixall, the only one left on point in this fight, all of a sudden went to the side of Undead Battery. But Black Ninja is still raining in damage from above. They have to deal with Black Ninja as he got res in that fight. But Climate trying to jump up to take out the Pharah, but Abe will be picking off Drugs Not Hugs, and Demo will be taking out Black Ninja.
Yeah, I was interesting positioning there. Players saw Nixall kind of going over with the Pharmacy on the left a little bit. And then Drugs Not Thugs getting picked late at the end of the fight before that one, had to switch to Lucio just to get back quick enough, and went off of the side of the Baptiste. So Kurt was pretty vulnerable there on the Bastion, only having the Orisa and a Lucio to really heal through him. So
The player gets a quick pick on the Seb. That should force a backup.
yeah,
So now that we have a minute to talk to this. Ooh, right as I was about to say that, Teractin refrags on the Kurt coming off the Crimson stun. They will be investing the Baptiste ultimate here. Interactin looks to engage. Elusion will be investing the Bongo, but Abe pops in with the Reaper ultimate, picking off Nixal, Demo picking off Player, Climate picking off Ivy Cat, and all of a sudden Crimson picking off Kurt. And all of a sudden this fight went from down a healer to absolutely winnable for the side of Undead Battery.
wow, yeah, I was expecting them to push off a point there, but pushing straight in and investing ultimates, and already up to 2 ticks here. Elusion has to go stall heroes.
Crimson will be investing the High Noon, and Nixal will be using his Gravitic Flux. Seb picking off Ivy Cat really early. Abe picking off Player. Those are 2 big picks for the side of Undead Battery, but Kurt will be refragging onto Crimson, and we will see Seb investing the Coalescence. Demo picking off Kurt, but it will not matter as nobody from Elusion can touch the point.
Wow, yeah, very great job there from Undead Batteries. I was not expecting that at all. Having that Winston there at the end too ended up being very good for them. They're able to kind of knock Elusion around when trying to recontest at the end. But wow, I don't think any of us expected that to happen. Losing your Moira at the beginning of a fight and still pushing in, great job from them there. I don't think Elusion was expecting that either. Elusion did make a lot of switches right before that as well, so they were pretty low on their ultimate charges. So good choice for them to kind of push in on the side of Undead.
100%. What I was going to ask you about was Climate on the Winston. What can he do against that bunker type comp that Elusion was running?
Yeah, that's an interesting pick. So a lot of the times what you would see, and I don't really have a good way to compare this to, because again, it's such a weird thing to see. What I'll compare that to is why a lot of teams would run Winston way back in the GOATS meta. So you would throw Winston at a lot of grouped up teams because of the cleave damage builds up Monkey ult very quickly. So maybe they were planning on using the Winston to kind of build up the ultimate quickly and knock a lot of Elusion off the high ground there. What they seem to do with it is that whatever DPS they were running would try to do like a flank attack or maybe try to do a little bit of damage and just disrupt Elusion a little bit to allow the team to push in and use a little bit of the shield to give them a bit more time to try to just like get through. And you saw Climate just like a lot of times initiating the fight for them, and I think they were just trying to maybe distract Elusion in a way. But Bastion's on both sides here at the beginning so far. This is an interesting start.
Absolutely. Abe running the Symmetra, a really big teleporter up onto the mini here. And Abe completely has turrets surrounding the entrance to the choke point, to the first point. Both sides are looking for a very quick start here as Elusion looks to take the left room. But Crimson will be taking out Black Ninja, and that is a pick early on for the side of Undead Battery.
Yeah, no mercy here too, so you can't res that up, and they're kind of trapped in their Junkrat through. Interesting pick from Elusion. I don't mind it. I like them high ground, but a lot of their teams not really being able to push through, and they're gonna force Undead Batteries to teleport the other side. Great job for them. A lot of place for them to spray into your Elusion up top.
Absolutely. Ooh, and that is a big pull coming out from the side of Teractin. Black Ninja will be picking off Abe, though. That is an early pick for the side of Undead Battery. Climate will be taking out Black Ninja, refragging on. But the res will be coming out from the side of Undead Battery, picking up Abe. And we see Teractin getting taken down to 1 HP. Crimson taking out Nixal and Kurt. Abe's picking off Ivy Cat, and this is just a reset for the side of Elusion here.
Yeah, they really don't seem to be prepared for this here yet, but they do have the window on the side of Ivy Cat, so maybe opening up with that early on. Oh, off the Bastion now. Kurt over to the Reaper. I think they're just going to try to go into a meta composition here, and maybe over to the Pharmacy actually. Yeah, Black Ninja and Ivy Cat. I definitely don't mind that here. The side of Undead, even though they do have 2 shields, is a little exposed to your on top, but they need to be careful for Abe to just teleport their team away as soon as they engage.
Absolutely. Black Ninja getting picked off early by Crimson. Ivy Cat probably will res that. Yes, I was right. And this Bastion setup right here is looking to completely deny any entrance from both sides for the side of Elusion. And Nixal getting taken down to 1 HP. They will be Undead Battery will be investing the Baptiste. Crimson picking off Black Ninja. There's the Farah gun, and they have no res for it. Kurt trying to sneakily take the point back, but will not be successful. And the side of Elusion, they are completely split off right now.
Yeah, they are. They're not really pushing in together yet, and this is not a comp you can really push through by yourself in. And there haven't really been many ultimates used yet on the side of Undead Batteries, so they have a lot of ults here ready. This is going to be very tough for Elusion to push through, especially because they're not close to any ultimates yet themselves either.
Absolutely, and there was a big pull coming off on Abe. Abe is currently stuck on the low ground, and it looks like the side of Elusion is just trying to set up on the opposite side, try to take the good old poke battle. They do get the shield down. Crimson taking out Nixal and Black Ninja taking out Demo. Seb will be rezzing Demo from the side of Undead Battery, but it looks like Undead Battery has a choke on this point right now, as Crimson will be taking out Kurt very early on in the fight. Black Ninja just looking to try to get some value on this Pharah, but cannot find any picks. Drugs Not Hugs does have his ultimate, but it will look like that. It does look like Elusion is just trying to back up and try to get out with whatever they can right now.
Yeah, just trying to save up their ult here, maybe push in for one major last fight here. Climate pushing pretty far forward here, trying to pick off daggers. They're still very split up here. But Elusion are probably just going to try to throw every ultimate they have at them at once here. Kurt still trying to flank, opening up here with the Coalescence as well, forcing them to rotate. That's a good job there from Elusion. They definitely don't want him up on that high ground, but oh, Crimson.
Crimson taking out two Leon with the help of the Baptistal, taking out a third. Teractin taking out Kurt, and this fight looks all but over from the side of Elusion. They have 30 seconds left. This is the last fight. What do they need? What needs to happen for Elusion here?
Black Ninja needs to come up very big for them here. You see him behind, waiting, maybe trying to get in before they can throw down an Immortality Field to get some picks here. Looks like the Elusion will be able to touch without having to have Black Ninja give up his positioning. And right now, going right in with it.
And the Barrage picks up two! Teractin does take out Black Ninja, but Seb immediately reses the Bastion of Crimson. Nixal will be investing the ultimate. Or I am sorry, Clement will be investing the ultimate, but Nixal will also be counter-investing and is taking everybody down from the side of Undead Battery to half HP. Ivy Cat, resing Drugs Not Hugs. This fight's just going back and forth right now. Big pull coming out from the side of Player. Player forced to use whatever he has. Player pops the bongo. Crimson says it does not matter. Taking out Player and Nixal, but Black Ninja will refrag onto Crimson. But this fight went all the side of Battery very quickly. But Elusion is not done yet. Kurt taking out Abe on the Symmetric. Crimson finally finishing the map.
Wow, yeah, Elusion coming really close there at the end, but a very good job from Undead Battery. Just didn't seem to have the answers on the side of Elusion to deal with the pharmacy coming through. I mean, to deal with the Bastion comp. They didn't seem to adapt quick enough either, but credit due to Undead Battery. The Symmetra strat worked very good for them, able to keep teleporting around, and Elusion just seemed to just kind of push in by themselves a lot, not really group up. But again, great job to them on the defense.
Absolutely. Undead Battery is looking really, really good right now. It doesn't matter what type of comp they're running. They said, Elusion, we can bunker it up too. And they showed they can do that. Completely shutting down Black Ninja on the Pharah, completely shutting down Kurt on the Reaper. What does Elusion need to do to swing the momentum back in their favor coming into the third map?
So map 3 will be hybrid, Kings Row, Eichenwald, or Hollywood. So they're going to be thinking about which map they want to pick here. I would probably maybe avoid Kings Row and Eichenwald. They seem to have a little bit of trouble here against these Bastion comps. Kings Row, a lot of bunker on first point, even though it used to be the Rhine Zarya place where you could actually go have fun in your games and not have to play by a lot of the meta rules. But it seems like it has switched over to one of those bunker first points for us now. So maybe going with Eichenwald. Maybe that's what I would pick on the side of Elusion. I don't know. What would you pick here?
Personally, I'd pick either Hollywood or Eichenwald because it supports Black Ninja very well. Black Ninja's absolutely killing it on the Pharah, and those two maps are really good for Pharah. And with that being said, they want to play aggressive, but Undead Battery is just not allowing them to because Ada's been running that Mei so well, and it's going to be very interesting to see what map, and we will get Kings Row. Okay, so I think this map favors Undead Battery a little more than it does Elusion, just because of the fact that they can play the Rhine Zarya here. I know those are both Teractin and Climate's more comfort picks, are the Reinhardt and Zarya, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see if they do decide to run the Rhine Zar and play more aggressive into Elusion.
Yeah, I definitely think Undead is a little better here as well. It's really hard to run these Reinhardt comps without Elucio. I think that was kind of some of the reasons why Undead Batteries was just dominating through Elusion. They weren't able to speed through a lot of the chokes. They tried with the Lucio in their first strat when running the Bastion, but after that, they still were trying to push through into these Bastion bunker comps without having any speed boosts. So on King's Row here, if they're not going to be running the Lucio, definitely I think Undead will look a little stronger. Terractin is subbed out here for Kuchi Copy coming in on
Kuchikopi.
Kuchikopi coming in. Maybe plan on running a bunker for them. I know a very strong Orisa player, but also I know plays the Reinhardt as well. So maybe some Rein Zarya coming out from them again.
Absolutely. This map is known as Goats Row for a reason, for the good old Reinhardt Zarya. So it's going to be very interesting to see what both sides bring out here. And
you know, you kind of miss it, right? A little bit. Like every now and then you kind of just like think about it for a second and you're like, a year ago, I was stuck on Diva for every game I played. Sometimes you miss it. Sometimes.
being a Reinhardt one trick, man, it Goats warm my heart. I miss it. Oh man, I absolutely miss it.
Simpler times, right?
Simpler times, you know, two trains running head on head into each other, you know. It was just a matter of who could get that first pick. That's all it needed, but definitely.
That's
The
one
good old
interesting
days.
thing. I don't know if we've all really talked about much this season, but a lot of teams in Tranquility kind of built a lot of their rosters around the meta based around that. And with such a massive shift in the heroes that were viable, I mean, besides Lucio, and I guess sometimes you ran more if you're trying to throw in goats. So a lot of heroes that became really strong here later in the seasons weren't strong at the beginning. So maybe some teams weren't building their rosters based off of that.
Absolutely. With the 2-2-2 rollout introduced, it definitely threw a big nail into what teams could run now, because you had to have two people on DPS, two people on healer, and two people on tank. And I think that really shifted the momentum of more long-term survivable heroes like Orisa, like Hog, like Sigma. And that the 2-2-2 rollout is pretty much what it's going to be a forehead moment, but is what killed Goats, in all honesty.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, I think the other thing that's interesting too, if you look way back at like the free agent channel in the Tranquility Discord, for anybody, if you look at the DPS players, beginning of the season, their first hero listed was Zarya, and now you're looking at it and their hero listed Mayor Reaper. So that shows you what's happened with a lot of the DPS mindsets coming through. And even with the new patch that should be dropping, I think it's next week, they said, I think those DPS heroes will still be pretty strong.
And coming up from the side of Undead Battery, we will see them running a Bastion comp on attack here. They like to do this a lot on hybrids, where they're just able to set up, get a pick, then cap point and just set up on cart and bunker the cart their way through. So
yeah, I like that pick from them.
100%. Crimson's been doing an absolute amazing job on the Bastion. From the side of Elusion, though, we will be seeing a pretty meta comp here, except no Lucio. How is that not having a Lucio going to affect them going into this Bastion comp?
So they are on defense, so maybe that will help out a little bit here for them early on.
I'm sorry.
You know, it's okay. You're still seeing the Bastion on offense at Undead. Maybe just this might. What are they doing actually? Are they doing a Reddit thing? I think they're doing a Reddit thing.
Oh, Abe on the Symmetra teleporting them up.
What? What?
Okay, so we are seeing it all here. They have Crimson set up on the top of the statue, just raining down damage, forcing Elusion to back up to the side, back up to the hotel. But that is a really big wall, forcing the immortality to be used very early on. And it looks like Elusion is not doing anything to take out the immortality field, but we do see Nick in the backline trying to get poke damage up onto that Bastion. Crimson taking out player very early on, and there's no contest here from the side of Elusion. They pretty much just gave him that point.
What the hell just happened? I have never seen that. I don't know how much that in a custom game and just practice TP into the top of that head, but holy cow, that's the first time I've ever seen that. That was awesome.
Kurt will be picking off Abe, but that is a very, very different strategy. They're pulling out all the Reddit plays here on King's Row as Undead looks to go up 3-0 here, and I was right. They are looking to just bunker up on the cart. Drugs Not Hugs will be having his amplification matrix, and so will Demel. Climate, though, almost has his Graphitic Flux. Drugs Not Hugs will be investing the amplification matrix very early on, looking to just completely shred through the side of Undead Battery. Drugs Not Hugs will be picking up Crimson, but Climate will be investing his ultimate, but the Immortality Field will be dropped from the side of Elusion. And Gecko picking up 2-3 on the Junkrat. Gecko has been absolutely huge on this Junkrat tonight. Drugs Not Hugs finally picking up the final kill that should send Unded Battery back to spawn.
Yeah, great job from them over there. I mean, Gecko just kind of shredded right in. I think one of the issues there, Climate using the lift pretty early on, but lifted most of the team right down into the Immortality Field, not Thugs. So, I mean, good ultimate from them. Maybe trying to bait out some of the abilities there for Elusion, but Elusion's coming up on 4 ultimates here. They're gonna have the Coalescence, they're gonna have the Blizzard, and then a pick very early on to 8. Great job there from Curry, and there's no res on the side there, but it looks like Unded Batteries is still gonna invest some ultimates here.
Absolutely. They do invest the amplification matrix from Demel, but it will not be finding any picks as Climate gets taken down to 1. Oh, and the flag blizzard by Kurt! Freezing 4, 5. Kurt absolutely hitting a madman with his ultimate right there.
Oh, wow. Great job there from Kurt. Seeing that Demel threw out the Immortality early on in that fight, did not have it there for the Blizzard, and they didn't need any more ultimate, and they have sitting here with a great position for them here. Gecko can open up really early with a tire here. They have double damage boost here on the side of player and Drugs Not Hugs, so Elusion looking like in a pretty good position here to really take a long hold here on this first point, or on the second point here.
Absolutely, and we will see a tire being invested by Gecko. The Immortality Field will come out. Oh, and Gecko finds 2. Nixall picking up Climate for the 3rd, and this will just be a reset for the side of Unded Battery once again.
Yeah, great job there from Elusion, only having to use use 2 ultimates there. They still have 3 ults left, back up to 50% already. If they can maybe just use 1 or 2 ults here, oh, and a late stagger as well. That's unfortunate. But Elusion looking great here. Still not many ultimates really going to be here on the side of Undead yet. They do have the Supercharger, and they're getting close to the Flux here. Maybe trying to do something with Abe's Dragon Strike coming in here to open up this fight and split off Elusion. They are pushed a little far back. They might be able to. They might get damaged here from that.
Player dropping the bongo early. Abe will be investing the Dragon, but Gecko will be finding the first pick on the Crimson. Climate will be investing his ultimate, and so will Nixall. Kurt finding another one. Climate picking up Drugs Not Hugs. Gecko refragging on the Abe. Player and Nixall both picking up 2 in their own respective ways. And this fight just went to the side of Elusion very, very quickly once again.
Yeah, Elusion have to feel well there. A lot of ults were invested from Undead. They see Abe now going over to the Pharah. No Mercy setup for them, but not really any hit scan on the side of Elusion to deal with that. Drugs Not Hugs maybe getting some damage in on the Baptiste, but we do see a window opening up here. Double damage boost on the side of Undead. We're going to see them open up that early, though. Oh, Seb over to the Mercy now.
Demel will be using that amplification matrix very early. Abe picking off Kurt here, and they will be using the bongo as Gecko looks to use his tire, but it will get broken by Demel with the help of Kuchikopi's bongo here. Gecko will be taking out Kuchikopi's bongo, but it will not matter as Abe and Climate pick up 2 huge picks that should be capping them point number 2. Crimson once again just securing this fight. Crimson going in really deep here as Ivy and Kurt and player just look to reset here. Undead Battery is looking to go in really deep here.
Yeah, I like that from them, though. Pushing Elusion back. Elusion basically only had 3 players there. They were able to basically push that whole wave, just winning 1 fight on that first push through because Elusion kind of kept pushing in a little bit. They didn't group up as 6 again and try to recontest before reaching second point there. But they're going to push up pretty early here. They did bait out here both Immortalities out early, so maybe we're getting some ults opening up, and they do jump out the barrage. Abe not getting much. Nick, though. Great ult there from Nick.
Crimson's looking for the flank, and he finds 2! Kurt investing the Blizzard. Kurt picking up the 2 that Crimson got. Crimson, Fragian and Nixall, Abe, and Crimson are absolutely demolishing, running through Elusion right now.
Oh, yeah, a lot of ults invested from Elusion. Oh, this is going to have to really contest here as the payload comes around the corner. They do have the Coalescence and the window open for them. You see Gecko going over to the McCree now. Maybe being able to pump out a lot of damage through that window, try to get a high noon up pretty quickly. They do have the lift on the side of Climate, though.
That is a big ultimate coming out from Climate. Abe picking off Drugs Not Hugs. Climate's Gravitic Flux taking down everybody to 1. Kurt gets a big wall on the Crimson, though. Nixall finishes him off. Kuchikopi will refrag on the Gecko. And as they will invest the Baptiste, Kuchikopi once again taking out Kurt as the as the Valkyrie ultimate will be invested from the side of Undead Battery, and this fight looks all but over for the side of Elusion, but they are getting the respawns. Player, Gecko, Kurt, and Ivy, or Drugs Not Hugs, I am sorry, are all here. Nixal will be investing the Gravitic Flux, but Abe and Climate are just running over Elusion right now. Nixal will be picking up the frag on the Demel, but I think it is too little too late as Undead Battery will take this 3rd point with 1:04 left on the clock.
Yeah, 1:04 left is pretty big for them too as well. Good job on their side. They were able to really kind of steamroll after that 2nd point there. Elusion not really taking any clean fights, maybe 1 clean fight after losing that early 2nd fight there. They did a good job holding off and taking out a lot of time off the clock, but Undead just kind of steamrolled through after winning that 1 fight. So good job from them. They're showing again how strong their bunker can be. I think Abe on the fire really opened up a lot of ground there into Elusion, especially into that 3rd point. It just seemed to keep like pulling Elusion's attention. They need to be damaging people forward, but then Abe was behind him shooting on the Pharah, and you can't just ignore that. So you saw Gecko switching over to the McCree as well to try to deal with it. But you gotta like Undead's chances here, especially on the defense now. They did a great job defending on Volskaya Industries, and maybe you're gonna see a bunker out of them here as well.
Absolutely. We will see Crimson coming out on the Widowmaker and Abe on the Junkrat. Very interesting comp here.
I like it. I like it. Some Trank Season 2 vibes. Widow and Junkrat.
Absolutely. And we will be seeing Gecko on the Widow. Question is, will they stay? I really hope they do, because I want to see some Widow 1v1s going on here.
Oh, don't worry. I'm just playing Widow to get picks. If not, I'll switch.
I'm playing Widow to scout. It's okay.
Exactly. Don't worry about it. Plays Widow for 5 minutes straight. Loses match. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. My bad.
I thought I was getting value.
Exactly. I do like Gecko starting off on the Widow, though, especially with there. Going to be tough to get through that with the double shield, but if they can get 1 big pick with that, that would be pretty strong for them.
Undead looking like they scouted out very early as Climate senses barrier right up there. But we will see both Widowmakers trying to get an opening pick here. Both Elusion looking to engage very quickly, as we will see just a lot of poke going on. Nixal taking down to half HP, and Crimson does know there's an enemy Widow here, and he retreats for healing. Just a lot of poke going on right here. Not really nothing going on. Abe so strong with the barrier break up from the side of the Junkrat. They will be using the Immortality Field very early as Kurt walls off half the team, and it forces people back off the point. Crimson getting an early pick onto Gecko, going inside of Undead Battery. Player refragging onto Crimson. Okay, and we will just be seeing an all-out fight. Demo taking out Kurt, and this looks like Undead might be able to hold here. Ivy Cat though will be investing in the Coalescence, trying to heal up the team. The counter Coalescence will be used, and Demo popping his own ult. Gecko finding a nice pick on the Climate. The beat will be invested from Drugs Not Hugs. Demo taking out Player. This fight's going so back and forth. Both sides are just looking to get picks here. Abe and Kuchikopi both coming in with big picks, though, taking out Nixal and Drugs Not Hugs. Abe taking down to 1 HP, but this fight looks all but over for Elusion here.
Good job from Undead Batteries, holding there for a minute and a half now off the clock and coming around to ult. Elusion needs to win this fight early here, or maybe coming with a dry push now. They don't really have tons besides Nixal's lift, so I think they should push in here, not really invest too much, try to bait some things out of the side of Undead.
Absolutely, and they get a big lift coming in from the side of Undead Battery as Abe picks off 2 with the tire. Kurt and Gecko though are refragged as they are both even right now in this fight. We will see Nixal invest the ultimate here, lifting up 2 people as Kurt and Nixal are absolutely running through Undead right now.
Wow, great job from them there. I thought they were going to be pushing off on the point there, but Elusion pushing right through a big lift there on the side of Entisol again, and just leaving them all to half HP, letting Kurt just dive right into the team and get all of the damage he needed to in. And Gecko getting another early pick there on the Crimson. Gecko seems to do a really good job here in this Widow battle.
Absolutely, these Widow picks are paying big dividends for the side of but he will be taken up by Abe on the Junkrat. That rat spam just too heavy to handle.
Hey, you did say Widow pick. You just didn't say which Widow picks.
True, I did not. I was not clear about that. We will see Kurt investing the Meteor Strike here as it looks for a pull. but he will be going into high ground. The pull does come out, but it will not matter. Kurt trying to pick off the support early, but will get stunned, and Seb does pick off Kurt very early on. Demo will be investing the amplification matrix to maybe boost some of his team's damage. Abe almost has another tire, but player will be investing his Bongo, and Ivy Cat will also be investing the Coalescence. And this is just a good old brawl on point here. Kremston will be picking off Kurt though, as the main source of damage for the side of Elusion is picked off here. We will be seeing Abe coming out with a tire. Tire's just kind of floating around right now, taking it, picking off nobody, but it will be used on player. Player taken down to 1 HP as they look for a soft reset here. Kremston picking off player. That is a huge pick. That should be sending Elusion right back to spawn here.
Yeah, Illusion's tanks just seem to be split up a lot. Anti-Sol seems to be on a flank or on the right side, while players trying to hold middle or vice versa. They definitely need to start playing closer, a little together here, because especially with these double shields, Arisa's shield, if it gets melted early on, it really relies on the Sigma shield to be there to help out. And with Junkrats on the side of Abe, that's a lot of shield damage that can come through early on for them.
Absolutely, and we will see Kuchikopi does have his ultimate up. See how he wants to use this. Kurt going in with the punch. Will be finding Kremston though. Really big early pick. Climate will be investing his ultimate. The beat will be invested from the side of Elusion. Demo picking off Kurt though. And this is just a good old brawl on point once again. As we see no picks really coming out here. We will see Nixop taking out Seb, but Abe will be refragging onto Gecko with the help of player Supercharger. Abe taking out Nixop once again. And this should be enough for a regroup from the side of Elusion.
Abe's already back to another tire again, and they do have a window set up as well, so damage boost basically for the team ready again. Ultimate's coming up for Elusion. This is definitely going to be the fight for the win here, but if Abe can maybe stagger a pick here or use the tire early on to split up Elusion, that's going to be putting him down to basically a minute left on the clock. A minute 42 left for them, so still getting pretty low here for Elusion. They need to win this fight here to be able to have enough time to compete here with Undead's time bank.
Absolutely, and as we see them just taking the poke battle, Undead Battery just looking to hold this corner. We will see the Immortality invested and the Junkrat Riptire. The pull does come out, but it will not get anybody. This Kuchikopi does take out Nixall in the process, but this should not be enough. We will see Bob invested by Gecko. An interesting pick here on the Ash, but we will see Kremston taking out player. Kurt refragging onto Kremston. Climate refragging onto Drugs Not Hugs. Abe picking off Gecko. And this looks like another reset for the side of Elusion.
Wow, yeah, another good job from Undead Batteries. They do invest a couple of their big ultimates there. They do have the lift over here on the side of Elusion, and no real counter besides the Immortality field, but they don't have the Coalescence on the side of Ivy Cap, so if they're able to throw down a good Immortality field, they can negate the real only ultimate that they're going to have here on the side of Elusion. We do see Drugs Not Hugs though getting close to the window as well, and Nick going to throw the ultimate in early here.
Ooh, that is a big pull, and they do take out the Immortality field early, but Abe will be picking up Drugs Not Hugs very early on. Abe picking off Nixall. Those are Abe picking up 3, absolutely popping off on the Junkrat. But Kurt will be refragging Kuchikopi though. We'll be finding player, and it looks like Undead Battery is about to hold this. Point number 2, Crimson picking off Ivy Cat, and they are just going all stall picks now to try to salvage what they can of this. Kuchikopi will be picking off Kurt, and it looks like there's not much Elusion can do to touch this point, but all hope is not lost quite yet. Gecko will be picking off Crimson. The Drugs Not Hugs will be investing his ultimate. We will see the Coalescence coming up from the side of Ivy Cat. Demo picking off Gecko. The Bongo will be coming up from Kuchikopi as Ivy Cat is pushing them back with the Coalescence. Kuchikopi will be investing the Bongo, and Abe does have his Riptire up. And a lot of ultimates are being invested from both sides. Abe using a tire to probably clean up this fight. But it will not matter, as Seb will be picking up player with the Coalescence. And Abe picking up Nixall. They're just looking to stay on point as long as they can here. Undead Elusion does have 3 people, but as I said that, all 3 get taken out. Undead Battery very convincingly take map number 3.
Yeah, Undead doing a very, very good job with taking advantage of high ground. Abe did a lot of great work on the Junkrat by kind of standing up top and shooting down into the team. Taking that spot here on second point with the Junkrat, just feeding right in over top of the shield. It's hard to block Junkrat's damage when you have someone well above your team just raining in mines through. So good job there from Undead Batteries.
Absolutely. And wrapping up half number 1 here, we do have Undead Battery up 3-0. Elusion looking to swing that momentum. Hopefully this halftime break will give them that little boost of confidence that they need. But for now, I know I need water. Booth, I bet you need some water too.
I do need some water.
We will be back in 10 minutes. We'll see you then, guys. And welcome back, everybody, to the second half of Elusion versus Undead Batteries. Definitely a very interesting first half. I know I feel refreshed, and I bet you Booth does too. Getting in here in the second half, Elusion has to win 4 straight if they want to take this series. But Undead is absolutely showing their dominance right now, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see what's going on here. Booth, how was your halftime, buddy?
Halftime was good. I am interested to see what Elusion's going to end up doing here. Undead looking really strong on those last couple of points. That first control looked pretty close going on. We're going to be at Gibraltar here for map 4, which I hate to say this here for Elusion, a very strong first point to hold there as a Bastion comp on top of that high ground. You see a lot of full holds happening here on first point into these bunker comps. Bunker. But Farah also being pretty strong here. Maybe we'll see Elusion opening with that here. Gecko doing a good job with that. Black Ninja did a good job with it earlier. But maybe Gecko also being a strong Farah pick for them. Maybe we'll see that coming out of their side. I wouldn't blame them for doing that for sure. Using the Farah, you can help boop a lot of people off the high ground as well. So maybe being able to boop somebody like the Bastion, or maybe like you see a lot of times these bunkers breaking as soon as the team loses their Baptiste, like in OWL, back in the Overwatch World Cup. A lot of the times that's when you end up seeing these comps just breaking. You don't have that immortality field there, protect your Bastion, because that Bastion is so immobile.
Absolutely. And going into Gibraltar here, like you said, Bastion can be such a strong pick on the first point. A lot of full holds being held here. But if Elusion do manage to get the ball rolling here, do you think Undead's going to stick with the Bastion, or do you think they're going to swap off?
First, I think on first point the Bastion's good. You don't normally see it as often on the second point. I would switch off it on second point for sure. A lot of the times having of those really strong high ground teams, these compositions with high ground, that's where you see a lot of Winston played here. Or I think Wrecking Ball could be pretty good. You end up seeing a lot of Wrecking Ball early on. Even on first point here on attack's good, but on second point defense, you see a lot of Wrecking Ball as well. I would switch off the Bastion after that if I was them, but it seems like Bastions, normally teams do that in the first place because you kind of just using that Bastion to do those first point holds. Then after that, it's hard to reset back up.
Absolutely, and his team comps are about to be revealed here. Going on the side of Elusion, if they're going to be defending first, so it's going to be very interesting to see what they run here. But they do come out on the dive defense. Actually, a very interesting pick here. Very interesting setup here on the defense. But with Gibraltar being such a dive-heavy map, how can they use this to their advantage?
Well, I'm thinking maybe Elusion forgot they're on defense. I like it, though. I mean, you're never going to hear me complain about seeing D.Va. D.Va's the only reason I still play this game sometimes. Interesting. Gecko with the Tracer. I'm just going to say interesting. I haven't seen this run in a long time, if ever, on defense. So I'm interested. It'll be exciting to see what goes on. We see double sniper on the side of Undead. Double sniper, pretty diveable, so pretty good for them. We do see Arisa and Winston again. We see Climate back over on the Winston, doing well with that back on Volskaya Industries, maybe trying to get the same thing again. But they're probably going to be just as confused as we are when they see the comp Elusions running as soon as they come around this corner.
Player holding up very aggressive, taking Abe down to 1. Kurt finishing off Abe. But it looks like there's just going to slugfest on point. We do see Kurt in the backline right now. But Climate will be taking out Kurt on the Winston. Winston pretty much directly countering that Genji. Crimson will be demeching Nixal, but we will see Player taking out Crimson. And this dive defense is honestly not working out too bad for them. We do see Seb refragging on the Nixal. That Moira and Seb taking out Honey as well. There's a lot going on right here, and Seb taking out a third. This Moira is doing a lot of damage right now for the side of Undead Battery.
Yeah, very good. I mean, not really much shield besides player's bubble there on Winston. I like Abe switching over to the Reaper, even though Abe didn't really get too many kills there to the end. Did take out player. Just having that Reaper and knowing there's a Reaper when you're about to initiate your dive on the side of Illusion is enough to kind of just push it back a lot. And they're gonna have a tough time pushing here. I do like Kurt switching over to the Doomfist. I think the Doomfist adds a lot of value for them, but they got to deal with Crimson here in the backline because Crimson's gonna have a lot of rain on their team.
Kurt will be taking out Abe very early on, though. And we will see Gecko. Oh, and they do not touch the point. That is unfortunate for the side of Elusion. Kuchikopi will be taking out Nixal, and Climate will be taking out Kurt. Kuchikopi taking out player. That's unfortunate from the side of Elusion.
Yeah, it really is. I kind of liked the switches coming through. They're basically running a mirror comp at the moment. They do have Kurt over on Hanzo compared to Abe over on the Reaper, but I do like their comp definitely a little better now. They do have player with the Primal Rage. They're gonna be able to take a little bit of the high ground here and trying to push Unded off the top, but
Climate will be taking out Gecko very early. Kurt will be refragging onto Crimson. Honey is going in for the res. We'll be picking up Gecko. And the Bongo will be invested from Kuchikopi, but Demo will also be investing his Amplification Matrix. We will see player pop in the Primal Rage, but Drugs Not Hugs will be investing the Coalescence, picking up Demo. We will see a counter Coalescence coming in as well from the side of Unded. Climate being taken down to 1 HP. Seb and Crimson fragging out. Kurt able to pick off Climate. And this fight, once again, Elusion are not going to be able to touch. Oh, I am wrong. Once again, though, Elusion looking completely clueless on what to do from the aggression. Seb, once again, taking out Honey and Kurt. And it's just an Orisa v Orisa right now on point as Crimson looks to get the finishing kill. Seb picking up 4 in that fight.
yeah, almost Undead Batteries. They double damage boost ulted there. They used their window alongside of their supercharge. And Elusion did a great job of getting through that, but in the end, Unded's still able to come through again. Elusion will have ults, hopefully able to stop this push early on, but they're just getting staggered even further here.
If I was Elusion right now, I'd just get back into spawn because Climate and Abe are playing so aggressive right now. And the cleave damage from Climate will be investing the Primal Rage, looking to boot players off the map. But no, he will be jumping off the map. Nixal will get credit for the pull. That is unfortunate from the side of Undead Battery. Abe looks to just back up here. Nixal will be investing the Supercharger that will be taken down right away. Kurt will be picking off 7. That's 2 down for the side of Undead Battery right now. As we will see Abe be investing the ult though as he picks off Honey. And they are just refragging off and on right now. Abe picking off Nixal. Abe is doing an absolutely fantastic job on this Reaper, as we do see Undead Battery just looking to play super aggressive and just play in the face of Elusion.
Yeah, wow. Elusion not really being able to contest the point here. Undead Battery just doing great to come through. We've seen so many switches on the side of Elusion. Nixal over on the Rhine now. They're just trying to contest player, and Nixal actually switching main and off tank role into the middle of this round.
Demo and Abe will be picking up 2, so will Climate, and this point looks all but over for Elusion. Elusion is absolutely clueless against the aggression from Undead Battery.
Yeah, 3 minutes 48. That was quite an attack there. A lot in their time bank there, and I think you just saw a lot of picks on Elusion, just kind of trying out different things. Look kind of desperate there, just trying to figure out which heroes they needed to run. I don't know how many different DPS and tank heroes they went through. Almost the whole lineup. I don't know Wrecking Ball, but besides that, I think we didn't see Wrecking Ball and Zarya. We even saw a soldier out of Gecko, I think, right? Yeah, that tells you something's going wrong. You see a soldier 76 coming out of it.
Swap the legs. Swap the legs.
Poor dad 76.
I know.
I remember.
Be meta.
I remember.
Oh yeah. The good old Soldier 76 where you overheal him, nano him, all that fun stuff.
Do you remember when people used to play Soldier as second support on like payload maps? You'd like throw his healing down on the payload and that was your second healer. Or people do that with Sombra. Sombra was your second healer.
Mm-hmm. Saw a lot of that with the good old Slambulance too.
Slambulance, one of my favorite comps still. Always will be.
The only other time Moira was a valid pick before Goats.
I loved it. My first time ever casking with the Tranquility community was a game where a team ran Slambulance, and I got so excited about it. I was just screaming the whole time.
Slambulance was a very fun comp to watch and play in. And as we get in here, Elusion looking to take the point faster, but 3:48 is such convincing time for Undead Battery. Illusion just looking for something. We will see Drugs Not Hugs rolling out on the Ana and Honey on the Baptiste. And we will see a Widow from Crimson. Definitely a very interesting comps here from both sides.
Looks like they were expecting a Far on the side of Undead Battery. Double hit scan. McCree Widow not normally seen running on this point. But then McCree Hanzo also not normal. Definitely off meta coming through on both teams. Running meta tanks, but that's about it.
Absolutely. We will see Abe taking out the Immortality field early as the McCree is just looking to spam damage down. And Gecko is pretty much getting not contested. But Crimson and Seb will be getting 2 picks. And Undead Battery looks to push their advantage. Kuchikopi getting another pick. And this looks like it might be 0.1 for Illusion right, or I'm sorry, for 0.1 hold for Undead right here.
Yeah, good job for them. They're going to be able to take some ground back again. And Elusion already making again, going over to the Doomfist and Drugs Not Hugs, going over to the Moira. I do like the Moira. I think that they need a little bit more healing in that regard. Kurt actually over to the Genji instead. Maybe trying to deal with the Widowmaker. Not many ults going to come. Honey maybe going to be able to get the Baptiste window up here pretty quickly. But they need to take this high ground here off the side of Undead.
Player and Nixall once again are splitting up though. This has been a problem for them all night long. And as Illusion looks to hold the high ground, it's relatively a 4v6 right now. As we do see a pull coming in. Seb, once again, has just been so good with just holding down the right click, forcing out some bad rotations from the side of Illusion. Kurt being forced back into his own team. Player taken down to 1 HP. But it really doesn't matter. Drugs Not Hugs will be getting the frag onto Seb, but Abe will be refragging onto Drugs Not Hugs. Player will be taking out Abe in this fight. Oh, but Crimson picking up 2 huge picks. Look like it is going to be a reset here from the side of Illusion. Right as I say that, Kurt is just sitting in the backline, trying to do as much as he can. And it looks like Illusion is going for the soft reset here, just trying to salvage what they can out of this fight.
Yeah, not really backing up yet. Still trying to put a little bit of pressure in. The side of Undead Batteries was pretty split up at the beginning of that fight. Again, you saw some of them going server, some up top and some at the bottom. But it just didn't seem like either team really had a set plan going through. But Abe gonna have a lot of high ground advantage here on the side of Illusion. It's gonna be tough to push through and deal with all the damage coming around on the side of Undead.
That was a huge pull coming out from Player to mess up Climate's Gravitic Flux. We will see Kuchikopi using the Supercharger, and Seb picks off Kurt very early on. Illusion looks to just stay right where they're at, try to refrag this. Abe taking down to 1 HP. But I am wrong. Illusion is just looking to get out with whatever lives they have left.
Yeah, just trying to go back and reset here. They are coming up on, they have 3 ultimates, about to get 2 more as well. They're going to have a window on the side of Undead, and they will have sights to scout out before this fight start here. But as long as Illusion doesn't keep investing in here, but they do pick off the Widowmaker, but they are down Player here. But I would still hold back if I was them. Wait for Player to come through with their spawns. But no, they're going to go right in with it.
They do have the Immortality field up, and Kurt will be looking to Blade as Kurt picks off 1 Climate, refrags on the Nixall. Kurt fragging on 2, gets, ooh, and Gecko picks off 2 with a huge high noon. Pretty much securing point number 1 for Illusion. But Crimson is not done yet as he will be picking off Gecko, but Kurt will be refragging.
The DPS there of Illusion coming through massive for them. Elusion did invest a lot. They were able to bait out the early Immortality field. This didn't let Kurt kind of clear through at the end. But kind of an early Supercharger for them as well. Trying to pick up respawns here on the side of Undead. But they have the Immortality field up, and they're going to throw...
Absolutely. And Kurt we see going in, but Demo will be picking him off. The Coalescence will be invested from Seb. Crimson is absolutely destroying Illusion right now on the Widowmaker. We do see Abe switch over to the May, but it will not matter as Illusion is getting sent back to spawn.
Good job there on there. We do see some switches now coming over again on the side of Elusion. Gecko going over to the Ash. Seems to be a comfort pick to go over there on that side. Not really much changing on the side of Undead. They do have the Widowmaker sites here. Yeah, they're going to pop them early here, get an idea of what Elusion's going to be doing. You see Nixall on the Winston coming in later in that fight, getting close to the Primal Rage, and then Kurt getting close to another Blade as well. Elusion need to win this fight early, though. Such a massive time difference already in store on the side of Undead.
Absolutely. And Abe finding an early pick. Crimson finding another pick on the Gecko. And Honey will be rezzing Gecko. They are only down 1 player right now. But they are not going to be investing here as Kuchikopi takes down Player. Kurt will be refragging on the Crimson though. Demo will be taking out Kurt as it will not matter as more than likely Ooh, they do invest the Coalescence from Jugs Not Hugs. I don't think that was needed. That might have been a misclick from Jugs Not Hugs.
Yeah, Nixall way deep in the backline just kind of pushed all of the side of Undead batteries off. Does go down here at the end, but gave them a little bit of space to push through, but Crimson's just cleaning up 2 headshots in a row.
Illusion needs to find an answer for Crimson. Crimson is giving is giving Treehouse a run for his money for the best Widowmaker, even picking up a Venom Mine kill. What can't this man do?
Oof, I don't know, but that was a weird bob there coming out from Gecko at the end, trying to just contest the point, maybe looking for a switch here. Illusion just seems really not be having the right answers here. They're still kind of pushing in here. There's only 2 of them really left. They need to be able to get out here. They're just staggering this points out even.
Absolutely, and as the clock winds down, we will see Clement on the Winston trying to push up, make a little bit of space. And we will see the Valkyrie and Blade from the side of Illusion. That could be a fight changer right there.
It could be, but Abe does have Blizzard here, and they do have the Supercharger, which they're going to open with early on the side of Undead.
This Climate will be taking out Kurt very early on Seb, also refragging. And once again, this has been all Undead battery. There's not really much.
Yeah, Kurt going down early, having the Blade was very bad for them. Maybe going to be able to try to recontest. They do have the Immortality field side of Undead, so if Kurt can get through, he has basically a free Blade, but I don't even know if they're going to be able to touch the point.
They are not able to touch point as Undead Battery pulls up the upset, taking down Illusion, the Titans that took down VitC, 4-0.
Wow. Congratulations on the side of Undead Batteries, making it now to we're going to have the finals next week. Our first team to get locked into a finals game, and a dominant is, I think, even as an understatement to say for this game, just dominating through Illusion. That first map looking really close, but Undead just completely cleaned up after that and just walked right through Illusion at the end.
Absolutely. The Bastion count from Undead Batteries run to perfection on multiple maps, and Illusion, without really any Lucio players, didn't really have what they needed to contest the Bastion, and that's what ultimately led them to their demise.
Yeah, I think Undead had the right answers. They watched and saw what Illusion was doing this season, and saw they didn't have the Lucio going on. They didn't have a lot of things, so good job to them. I really hate to see that on Illusion. Congratulations to them on a great season, though. Coming through, ending up here at the end, getting second place in the regular season, having probably one of the biggest upsets in Tranquility this season of taking down Vitamin C at the final game of the regular season, doing a great job in the playoffs. But congratulations to Undead Batteries, our first team to lock into the finals here, which again will be next week for the Harmony tier. They will play against either Jetpack Cats or the Holy Jalapenos, who play on Thursday of this week. This game, of course, being pre-recorded on Wednesday. So we'll see who that is tomorrow night for us.
Absolutely. With that being said, once again, great season for Illusion. They definitely had some really big games. Congratulations to Undead Battery picking up the win over Illusion. Make sure, guys, to tune into the Iris podcast Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name has been JStar. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at @the_real JStar. Alongside with me has been Booth.
Yeah, thanks again, guys. Also, shout out to our producer there, Juke, for coming and helping us out and recording this game today. That was I think Illusion and Dead both were pretty happy we were able to come in and record our game, even though they weren't broadcasted live. Make sure you tune into our final games next week as well. I think you're going to hear some familiar voices for that. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.